Hello, I'm Tracy from Trade Bell, and welcome to my little piece of the internet. If you've found me, I'm so glad that you have, and I hope that you're well. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for your support, and this is what I look and sound like. Usually on my channel I do close-up beauty swatches. However, I'm very excited to be panning out today to tell you of some very exciting news. I am about to start a new YouTube channel with two amazing British Asian beauty content creators, Amra from Amra's Beauty Blog and Deborah from the Edit by DH. I first found Amra through a beauty pie review video, and she has a wealth of beauty content in terms of the latest makeup releases, product reviews, beauty swatches. She's also a makeup artist and has had makeup artists on her channel. Similarly, Deborah works in the beauty industry also as a makeup artist. They both knew each other before. She has exquisite taste in beauty and style, and we would find that we would comment on each other's videos. They were always so lovely, and that turned into sliding into each other's DMs and then venturing onto Zoom together, where we would discuss underrepresentation for British Asians in not only the beauty community but also mainstream British media. And that's how we came together, because we wanted to address that, and why we are starting a brand new YouTube channel called Being Brasian, where we hope to address certain topics, challenge stereotypes, and catch up, just an informal catch up online every month, where we hope that you guys will also contribute. And to launch this, we are doing a get to know me tag, so that everyone can get to know us across our channels and across the internet. And we have created some questions for the Being Brasian tag. So without further ado, question number 1: where were you born and where are your parents from? I was born here in the UK, in Guildford, Surrey, and my parents are from the Philippines. Question number 2: what 3 words best describe yourself? I'd like to think of myself as caring or careful. Whatever I do, I try to do it with care and mindfulness. I am always looking at how to move positively in the world, whether that be with friendships or with family or with work. I try to do everything I do with care. The second thing I would say, hopefully positive. I think a smile goes a really long way, especially in these difficult times, when I appreciate it can be very hard for a lot of people. I think trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel, or the silver lining, or just something to look forward to is so important. And yeah, keeping positive and not being afraid to smile, and you know, trying to bring joy to those in your life, and also seek out joy, I think is really, really important. So positive. And then for the last one, I think the honest answer has to be indecisive. Because I am very careful about things. It can take me a while to get to things, and people in my life, I'm sure, would say that sometimes it's hard for me to make a decision, but that's only because I care so much, and because I always want to look at every avenue, but sometimes it makes it hard to decide. So yeah, if you're on Netflix or Prime, again, where do you start? But yeah, I think the last thing would be indecisive. Question number 3: what made you become a beauty content creator? Well, that will have to go back to my first video, and if you have a look, it's a very basic beauty pie swatch video for some of their lipsticks. And the reason why I uploaded it was because when I was initially looking at the brand, I was enamored by the amazing skincare. I loved the range of the beauty products that they had, but when I was searching and Googling for things, I really couldn't find anything that reflected on my own type of skin tone. And I thought, well, if I'm looking, surely there must be other people looking also. And there were a few people at the time, but not close-up swatches as I do on my channel. And so I decided to become the change I wanted to see in the world, and I put up my first video, and here I am, a few more videos down the line, hopefully adding to the representation for the beauty community, and hopefully not just for people of my similar skin tone, but showing that beauty can come in all shades and all sizes, and it's really important for us to kind of step up and have all facets of beauty be shown and celebrated, and that's really why I started my channel. Question number 4. If you were on a desert island, what would be your top 3 can't live without beauty products? And immediately I want to say SPF and skincare, because you're on a desert island and you have to look after your skin. But the question is about beauty. So I think my 3 beauty products that I don't think I could live without would have to be highlighter, because I love to glow, and if I'm on a desert island I want to be glowing, even if it's natural or helped with a little bit of beauty products. I love highlighter. At the moment I am using the Beauty Pie Triple Whirl. Also I love the Glossier Holoscope. But yeah, highlighter in all its forms I absolutely love. So highlighter would have to be one of my top 3. So yes, my second thing that I would have to have on my deserted island is concealer. I don't always wear a heavy base or foundation all the time, but certainly concealer can hide a multitude of sins, and I would have to say that's one of my can't live without products. At the moment I am using the Urban Decay Naked Concealer, which is just great and covers where I need it to cover. It's what I've got under my eyes at the moment, and anywhere where I need to kind of spot conceal. So yeah, I'd have to make sure there was concealer there. And then my last thing, which will come to no surprise if you're watching my channel or if you found my channel, but would have to be lipstick. Lipstick is something that I just adore. It's one of the main reasons, if not the reason, why I started this channel, along with representation. I love it in all its forms: matte, balmy, liquid, bullet. I am a bit of a lipstick curator, and yeah, I wouldn't be without some type of lipstick. And because it's so broad, like I said, all the various different types of formula, hopefully I can bring a few, please. I love how it can elevate a look and make you feel so put together. I love it in all its forms, and it was something that if I had to be on a desert island I couldn't be without. So yeah, lipstick. Question number 5. What's your Eastern versus Western horoscope? The Eastern horoscope, I'm following the Chinese zodiac because I don't believe the Filipino calendar has it, and uses the Western horoscope. So for the Eastern horoscope, I was born in the year of the dog, and specifically the year that I was born was the water dog, I believe, which I've just found out literally just now, and makes a lot of sense because I love being by the water. I find it very calming, and I've always said that when I retire I will retire to the water. So that's a interesting fact that I've only just found out about myself, so that's very cool. On the flip side, because I was born in September, I'm a Virgo in the Western horoscope, and in terms of Virgo, they're known for being very put together. I would say that I am the messier side of the Virgo. Again, I can be very organized, but I guess my creativity or my focus, I can be going through a lot of things at the same time, and have a clear focus, but sometimes that may manifest in a messy desk at work or leaving my makeup all out. So I wouldn't say I'm a conventional Virgo, but Eastern and Western horoscope, that's who I am. Question number 6. What 3 things are your country famous or infamous for? Well, my family's country of origin is the Philippines, and when you think of the Philippines, I think what immediately springs to mind is probably Imelda Marcos and our politicians, which I won't go heavily into, but I think that, yeah, Imelda Marcos is one of our most well-known Filipinas, known for her extensive shoe collection, known the world over, but also more recently there was a documentary made, which I've still yet to watch, and if you have watched it, please let me know what you think. Put it in the comments below, about, I think it's the Kingmaker, yes, I think that's one of the things that the Philippines is famous or infamous for. Another thing I would say that the Philippines is known for is its people, how friendly they are, how resilient they are, having to deal with so many natural disasters hitting the country just purely because of where it resides on our planet. They have been hit by typhoon after typhoon recently, as well as numerous earthquakes. Earlier in the year, my family were affected because of the Taal volcano erupting. Filipino people's resilience is something that the Philippines is known for. And in addition to that, the Filipinos who work abroad are known to be very hardworking. Definitely now, especially in this time, I don't think you can find a hospital in the UK without finding a Filipino hospital worker. Again, because of their humility and their caringness, I think that's a really amazing thing that the Philippines is also known for. And then the last thing I think the Philippines is known for is for our pint-sized powerhouses. Whether that be Manny Pacquiao in boxing or Lea Salonga belting from a West End stage, our talented Filipinos who are known internationally may be diminutive in comparison to their Western counterparts. However, they definitely pack a punch, for want of a better pun. And yes, I think those are the things that the Philippines is well known for. Number 7, what is your favourite dish from your country? And that's a really easy one for me. I wanted to mention it in the last question, but because this one was about food, I saved it for here. And my favourite Filipino dish, it has to be lumpia, which is a small meat-filled spring roll, usually with some ground onion or garlic, salt and pepper, and seasoning to your choice. I tend to like a little bit of ginger in there for a bit of a something special, but it's something that always comes out with every Filipino celebration. It's real comfort soul food, and yes, it's my husband and my son's favourite, and mine too, so I'd have to say lumpia. Number 8, what is your favourite British dish? And I have to immediately go with a good old roast dinner. Nothing beats roast potatoes, some Yorkshire puddings, roast meat of some kind. In our house it tends to be beef, pork, lamb, all the meats were quite carnivores. Yes, a roast with all the trimmings, gravy, vegetables, and as we're coming up to the festive season, I'm very excited to be having a lot of roast dinners. Number 9, if you had to pick one for the rest of your life, noodles or rice? I mean, to ask an Asian that is an impossible question. It's like picking your favourite child. Saucier dishes go better with rice, noodles take on so much flavour. It's a really, really hard one. In the Filipino culture, we have a lovely noodle dish called pancit, which basically has just all the goodness, vegetables, meat. I guess it's kind of like equivalent to a chow mein or a lo mein, but also we're very well known for our garlic rice, which seems very simple, garlic rice, fried all in a pan, but that's also really, really comforting. So if I had to choose between noodle and rice, I won't. I can't. I love them equally. They pad out every meal, and yes, it's too hard a question. I wish I could answer it. Number 10, tell us a proverb from your country and what does it mean? if I'm honest, I have to say I don't really know that many Filipino proverbs. If you have any that you live by, please do put them in the comments below. However, something that my mum used to say to me, and also something that my older female cousins used to say to me: look with your eyes and not your mouth, which seems quite easy to explain. However, if you're like anything like me, you're always like, where is it? Where can I find it? And you kind of get in a bit of a panic or whatever it might be. And really it's just about taking stock and not using your mouth to look for something, and just simply using your eyes, calming down, having a look, and invariably you end up finding what you need to. Number 11, say something in your language. That one is a difficult one for me because though I am Filipino, I was born in Britain, and in honesty, I'm not fluent in Tagalog. I can understand most of what people are saying at functions, and I know words, but sadly I don't actually speak Tagalog. It was only recently that I found out that when my mum came to this country and she was visited by the health visitor, they actually told her not to speak Tagalog in the household because they thought that it would be harder for the children to integrate into British society. Now that was many moons ago in the 80s, and it's much different now. I'm sure health visitors are more encouraging, and really now it's seen in the early years that to be bilingual and to encourage different languages is something really to celebrate. But back then, sadly, because of what my mum was told, we didn't have Tagalog in the household on a daily basis. It's something that I really, really wish I did know, and the older I get, it's something that I wish I could be more connected with. I have a young son, and he is half Filipino and half British, and we are at least trying to teach him some of the basic words, and through him learning, I'm learning too, or going over or revising, whatever you might call it. But yeah, going back to the original question, the very little Tagalog that I know or feel confident to say, initially I would say "Kumusta?", which is hello. I'm sure a lot of people would know that or assume that. But another thing that I can say, which is a bit fitting, is "Hindi marunong Tagalog," which means I don't understand Tagalog. Number 12, what is your favourite karaoke song? And this one is a real hard one because I love karaoke. I love to sing, and it's always really hard when you get that big book or the list of numbers to find the song that you always want to sing. But I would say my favourite karaoke song is... I really love singing "Crazy for You" by Madonna. I also love to try and attempt some of the Adele songs, though I by no means can sing anything like Adele. But also a fun one that I saw at a wedding, which I really want to be cool enough to pull off one day, is to do Gangsta's Paradise at karaoke. Number 13, what's a fun fact that no one knows about you? Well, one of the fun facts that not many people know about me is actually that I am a beauty content creator and that I have a YouTube channel. So that's one thing, and as you can see, I've stepped beyond the close-up videos that you are used to seeing on my channel, and I'm so excited to be part of Being Brasian and using this tag as an introduction to myself and an introduction to the channel. Another fun fact was that I went to university in North London, and on the day that I handed in my final essay for marking, there was actually a council photographer taking photos of the campus and also some of the people. This was before GDPR, and obviously we were all adults at university, but yes, we were students, and I said, yeah, sure, take my photo, and never really heard from them again. Fast forward to the future, and I get contacted by a friend who was at a citizen advice bureau who saw my face and my image for one of their support literature. I won't say what it's for, but if you find it, let me know. But yes, my claim to fame is being a council model for a North London borough, and I don't think a lot of people know that. I really hope you enjoyed that and that you got to know a little bit more about me. More importantly, I hope you're just as excited as we are for Being Brasian, and if you want to take part in our tag, please check the description bar down below. I'll make sure all the questions are there, and use the hashtag BeingBrasianTag so we can look at all your answers. We would love to see them. And yes, we hope you'll join us on this journey where we have our monthly catches up. We really want to give a voice to topics that don't normally have a spotlight, and we want you to be part of that. So sound up in the comments, or make sure that our Being Brasian contact details are all down below. And it goes without saying that you must follow my Being Brasian sisters, Amra from Amra's Beauty Blog and Deborah from the Edit by DH. Thank you so much for your time. We really look forward to going on this journey with you for Being Brasian, and I will see you on that channel. Otherwise, I hope you look forward to my new swatches, and yes, also let me know if you like seeing my face. Maybe I'll do a bit more in the new year.
In the darkest hour, I wanna come for you. I know you've been